Hey guys, it is John back with another video for you guys. If you are new to this channel, I would love for you to subscribe as well as hit the bell icon. That way you guys get notified every time I post a video. And so today, kind of a thought ran through my mind right now. I am headed over to somebody's house who reached out to the ministry that we are part of, seeking for different ministries here in Puerto Rico. They just Googled ministries in Puerto Rico. Our ministry came up, and I ended up giving him a phone call yesterday. So right now I am driving through the mountains in Puerto Rico, and he's about 2 hours away from where we live. And so it's been a really great time. I've been able to spend some time just praying to the Lord and talking with the Lord and thinking through some things. And so I'm going through these mountains, and this thought just kind of hit me. You know, it seems kind of ridiculous that this guy lives 2 hours away from me. Being that the island is only 100 miles long and 40 miles wide at its widest, right? You would think that it would not take me 2 hours to get here. That's what you would think, right? Based on mileage, based on what I'm used to in Michigan, right? Where every road is straight. And if you're going, 30 miles away or even 50 miles away, it's not going to take you 2 hours to get there. But here in Puerto Rico, it's a little different, right? We have mountains to go over and this and that, rivers to cross. And the roads here are really, really windy, right? You have hairpin turns, you have S-turns, you have one-lane roads that turn around mountains. You have all of these different obstacles that we have to go through to get to where I'm going today, right? And so the best way, that I would think of is the best way to get from point A to point B is a straight line, right? Obviously, everybody knows that, right? The quickest way to point A to point B is a straight line. And so in the States, what we have done is we have created highways, right? We have built highways that, for the most part are straight, right? It's much quicker, you can go faster, and so to go a longer distance, it would make sense to take the highway. That would be the best way to get to point A to point B, right? However, even though that a straight line is the absolute best way to get from point A to point B, it doesn't mean that an absolute straight line is always possible. Right? Here in Puerto Rico, it is impossible to build a highway that goes all the way across the island over the mountains. It's just impossible. You have elevation changes of up to 4,000 feet. You have rivers to worry about. You have so much at stake if you were to build a highway that goes north to south on the island, that it would literally cost an innumerable amount of money to do so, right? And so it's just not possible. And so although going around all these hairpin turns and all of these curves and all of these hills, which sometimes are ridiculous angles, right? Although that is the most inefficient way to get anywhere, right? By curving and going almost in full circles and up and down, that is the most inefficient way to get anywhere. That's what's possible here, right? And so the thought that was going through my mind is sometimes in ministry we have something that works really, really well, right? Whether it be the way we evangelize, whether it be the way we gather as the church, whether it be our worship style, whether it be the way we make disciples, whether it be the way we serve, right? Whatever capacity of ministry that we are doing, we tend to think we have the best possible way to do things. And sometimes I think we do, right? Sometimes I think people have come up with the best possible way to do something. However, just because that is the best possible way to do something doesn't mean that way is always possible in every culture. Every culture has their own unique roadblocks, their own unique path to making disciples, their own unique path to being the church, right? And all of that revolves around their culture. And so if you were to look at roads like a culture, right? Puerto Rico's roads are curvy, up and down, all around. There's really no order to our roads here whatsoever, right? Where in Michigan, right, there's order to the roads in Michigan, right? They're basically in a straight line, they're in a grid pattern, right, for the most part. And we don't really have to worry about where we're going, what we're doing. Everything is pretty simple. And if we were to look at those two things as cultures, we have to understand that not every place on this planet operates like we understand and we have grown up in, right? And so we have got to be willing to be flexible, right? To mold ourselves to what is possible. So rather than saying, okay, straight lines are the best possible way to get to the mountains in Puerto Rico, so we're going to do that. Let's say, okay, what is the best way to get to the other side of the island in Puerto Rico, right? And so I think in ministry, that's something that we have to learn how to do as well. It's like, okay, this is the best way to do this based on my experience, my scenario, and my culture. But if I'm serving somewhere else other than what I'm used to, what is the best way to do that there, right? And I think we're going to find that there are multiple best ways to do things based on culture, based on people, based on what's available there, right? So I just want to challenge you guys. If you guys are in ministry, if you guys are serving the Lord, I really want to challenge you to consider, like, although what you may be doing right now is the best thing in your context, is it the best thing in every context? And even if it is it even possible in every context? So I know it's a challenge sometimes to really think through, but I just want to encourage you guys to consider that thought process. Just because something is the best doesn't mean it's possible in every culture. So guys, love you guys. Please subscribe to this channel. If you have not subscribed already, hit the bell icon. That way you guys get notified every time I post a new video. And I look forward, as always, to your comments on this video. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.